Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up because today we are doing a look that's based on the red carpet looks that I've been seeing, really featuring peach in the eyes and also on the lips, so stay tuned. I've already washed my face and done my skincare, so let's get started by neutralizing and prepping the face for makeup. First, I'm going to start with the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I'm just going to roll that doe foot applicator very gently onto my ring finger, split it between the two, and use one finger on one eye and the other finger on the other eye. You don't want too much silicone hanging out up there because sometimes that can hinder your eyeshadow placement. It can cause skips. It can just cause an uneven application. So now that that's finished, we can go on to Corrector underneath the eyes with BOBBI Brown, just a really light layer. We can always build up if we need to. And anywhere where we're seeing a little bit of discoloration, a little bit of darkness, is where you want to place the product. Now our skin is prepped and ready to go, so this is where we can decide which place we want to start on. I'm going to start with the eyes because the eyes are definitely the focus. I recently got in some new MAC eyeshadows in a warmer persuasion, so those are the ones that we are going to be using. First I'm going to start with Brulee, putting that all over the lid with just a really fluffy brush, Sonia Kashuk tapered crease, and just gently placing that all over the lid, up into the crease and all the way to the brow. So just trying to lighten, kind of do a little color correcting there as well, and get my eyelids ready for other eyeshadow application. Now I am ready to start with my Samoa Silk. So you can blend this in with something like soft brown if you want to, or you can just go in with it. I'm going to take my 201 from BK Beauty, get some of that on the tip of the brush, start working that on the outer third and up into the crease. As you can see, this is a really fun, almost sherbet color. Gently pulling at the edges to make sure everything is nice and blended, but it just gives a little hint of color. So especially when you're wearing those navy blues, those creams, anything that's of a warmer persuasion, this can look really cool because you're pulling a little bit of orange. It will also look really nice with olive, those olive tones that come out in the summer. So good. And with that being said, it will look great with blue eyes, green eyes, and hazel eyes as well. So now I'm going to switch to my 217 from MAC, and I'm just going to mix in Swiss chocolate and soft brown together on the tip of my brush. I can always go into something darker like Embark if I feel like I need a little bit more, or you can use Embark as your liner. As the weather warms up, it's fun to be a little bit more playful with your makeup in very safe, office appropriate, everyday kind of ways, and using just that hint of sherbet orange from Samoa Silk can really brighten up or just change the feeling of a look. So those two colors are going, really focusing those on the outer third and up into the crease. So just giving a little bit more definition. Going back in if we feel like we need just a little bit more enhancement, and then I'm going to blend out with a different brush. It's nice to have a placement brush when you're starting to do detail work, and then a softer brush that can just be used to blend out as necessary. So I'm going to go back in with my Sonia Kashuk and just soften those edges. Make sure that everything is talking to each other. I don't want one color to stick out against the others. I want everything to be in a conversation with one another. However, having those distinct colors is definitely a look, and I think it's really nice in the evening or when you're going to a party. It's even really nice for weddings because it really gives the camera something to focus on. But for every day, it's nice when everything just kind of blends and melds in together. Now we are ready for liner, so I'm going to go in with a BOBBI Brown product in Rich Chocolate, and this is a long wear cream liner stick. It has a pointed end and it works a dream for long-lasting ability, and the tip I have found works really, really well getting into those lashes. I went with brown because I wanted it to be a little bit softer. Just like I did during some of my older videos, I've really been enjoying mixing brown and black for liners. I think it's just a really fun way to get that graphic look, to get that liner look going, but without it being too harsh. And then I'm just taking my finger and softening that. Now, these do dry very quickly, so be aware of that as you are putting on your makeup. They do want to just stick to the lid very quickly. If you need a little bit more time, something like Lisa Eldridge's Seamless Eye Glide pencils are really, really nice. They have a little bit of playtime before they set. These set much faster. However, I feel like the color is very comparable to her Ground Coffee. Before I finish my liner, I do want to do a little tight lining with another Bobbi Brown product. This is the Perfectly Defined Gel Eyeliner in Pitch Black. And now I'm going to go in with my Stila Stay All Day liquid liner and give just a little kitten flick. Now, if you have time, going back in with something like an angled brush into Embark or a pencil brush if you want it a little bit softer is a great way to blend these two together. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of stamping it on top of where they're connecting, and it's becoming a little bit more uniform. This can also give you a nice soft look as well, just by placing a powder on top of something that's a little bit harsher. It just makes it a little bit softer. Now we are ready for mascara. So I'm going to go in with my DIOR 3D Maximizer, and then we'll follow up with Kitten Lash by Lisa Eldridge. I'm finding that this combination of doing the primer first and then going in with the Kitten Lash gives me a little bit more oomph to my lashes, a little bit more volume. And then I go in with Lisa's amazing mascara, and then it just feels a little bit more of that lengthening and volume drama that I personally enjoy. So now we are ready for complexion. I'm going to start with Seamless Skin. This is a number 9. I'm going to do just one pump, and I'm actually going to be using a new brush today. I'm going to be using Lisa's foundation brush. I've been playing around with this for a few weeks, and I absolutely love it. So I'm doing a very similar application, but I'm just using painting motions, and she loves a painterly brush. This is how I've always seen her apply foundation. It just totally makes sense that her foundation would work even better with a brush like this. If you have the Chanel one, I'm sure it will work just as well, but if you are looking for a new foundation brush, I really, really like this one. And I have tried a lot of painterly brushes throughout the years, and this is absolutely hands down my favorite one I've ever tried. Now we're going to go in with concealer, and I'm just again taking that doe foot applicator, rolling it on to my ring finger, and then I'm going to split it. And even though that is a new bottle, I still feel like I'm not putting on too much product. So first I'm placing with my fingers, and then I'm going to go back in with Lisa's brush and make sure that everything is really nice and blended. So placing with fingers, blending out with a brush. And you can absolutely still do those tapping motions with a painterly brush or those bouncing motions. It just keeps the product in place a little bit better. It doesn't disperse it like sometimes happens with something that is a bigger brush. We can always go in. I always use my middle finger as kind of like the pickup finger, and just making sure that I don't have any excess foundation or makeup anywhere else. I'm going to leave my complexion alone for a moment and go in for brows. So just filling in any gaps that are happening. We spent quite a bit of time on our eyes, so the rest of this, as you know, I feel like you spend your time on one area of the face, and then the rest of it needs to be a little bit faster, a little bit more on autopilot, because we are busy ladies. And also, I feel like when you do makeup like this, it just gives it a little bit more of an authentic feel than when you are perfecting absolutely everything. And I love that for every day, that it just feels a little bit more authentic to your face, and not everything is absolutely perfect. Now we are going to do our cheek trick with a lipstick and a highlighter. So I'm taking Kitten Mischief, and I'm going to grab a little bit of Lisa's highlighter, blend those together on the back of my hand, and do my blush. Because I'm going in with Go Lightly Gloss, I want to make sure that the cheeks and the lips talk to one another, because even though we have a lot of focus on the eyes, we still want to make sure that the lips are part of the party as well. So doing the lips. I find for me with my complexion that mixing in the highlighter with Kitten Mischief with anything, that's kind of my go-to if I'm not sure which shade will match the lips really nicely. It's a very neutral, muted pink, and it goes with a lot of different lip colors. So now we are ready for our powder products. I'm going to use my Givenchy. I just have a bunch of the powder into the top. I'm going to lightly grab some of that with my 108. First, I'm going to set underneath the eye and through the center of the face, getting rid of any shine, just really nice and light. And you can see that this really does a great job of mattifying, but I never feel bogged down by powder throughout the day. Now I'm switching to my all-purpose brush, and I'm just grabbing kind of that cheek area, because I've noticed, especially as the weather gets warmer, that my bronzer is kind of dragging in a couple places, especially because I'm using lots of oils in the morning. And I don't want my bronzer to drag. I don't want there to be a skip anywhere. Now we are ready for finishing touches with bronzer. So I'm going to take my BK Beauty bronzer brush into my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. I'm going to saturate the top of that brush. I'm going to go under that cheekbone and then circle up onto the cheekbone. And you can just see that that gives a really lovely bronzy contour thing going on right there. Same thing on the other side. And because I put down that translucent powder, now the Charlotte Tilbury has something to grip onto instead of the lipstick highlighter combination that I did on the cheeks earlier, which it can absolutely grab onto, and then that's when you get the skips. And that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching this look. It was based on a lot of the red carpet looks I was seeing where they were using peachy tones, and that Samoa silk is key for this look. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, beauty videos every Friday. Make sure you are following me on Instagram and watching the shorts in between, because I'm doing even more to make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more glossy. And I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!